Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome to Illinois Stories. I'm Mark McDonald, just north of Carthage at the Hancock County Gun Club, trying to talk over the noise of today's shoot. Once a year, in late May, they host a seminar here, and the man they invite in's name is John Linebaugh. People come from Canada and all over the country to hear this man speak. Now, if you don't know much about guns, you may not have heard about Linebaugh, but if you do, you'll enjoy this interview. John Linebaugh, you're kind of a celebrity here. You know, when we got here, you were given a seminar in there. You had 25 people here. Some of them are from Canada. They're from all over the place that come to Carthage to hear you talk about building guns.
That's right.
And so what you do is you offer them improvements to what they could buy, and if they just went out to a gun store and bought a standard stock gun, you offer them a way to improve their guns. What do you do, like in a nutshell? What do you offer them that they can't get in the store?
Basically power, precision fit and finish that's lost in our modern day of manufacturing. We've gone back to old world hand fitting and craftsmanship, pride in what we're doing. All these people are usually come back. A lot of them are very dear, close friends, not only customer based, but good friends. And we stay in touch this way. We do seminars all around the country, and a lot of them come to several of them.
Yeah.
But we try to teach a theory we call old school gunology.
Gunology.
It's basics. It's getting back to what's real, getting away from the gimmicks and the gadgets and the plastic, all that stuff, and getting back to old world craftsmanship. And then when the lights go out, the only thing you really have is just you and the gun. That's what the soldiers did during the wars. Today we have so much modern technology. If it goes down, where does a man stand? Is he on his own? Can he handle a situation? Try to get the responsibility back to the shooter and the knowledge. The real knowledge with real techniques of what makes them function and work.
Many of the people that buy your products would either be, I mean, they might be hunting big game and they want some real power. Other people just recreationally shoot. But the fact is, you make a weapon that'll shoot bigger loads and it'll be with more power, right?
That's true.
So would you show us the standard weapon first, and then maybe we can point out the differences?
Well, we usually just start with a standard Ruger Bisley because this is the strongest, most available platform available. This one in particular is a 45 Colt caliber, stainless steel. We start by disassembling it completely. We put a new barrel on it.
And the barrel has to be bigger, doesn't it?
The barrel is an already pre-rifled blank that we buy. If you want a 6-inch gun, we'll cut off 6 1/4 inches and fit it and finish it. I'm not going to go any farther with that, but that gives you a pretty basic idea of.
Right, it's a skeleton.
It's completely rebuilt. Totally and completely in every way.
And this is a Ruger 45, is that right?
It'd be the same as a 44 Magnum frame, and they're all the same. So basically, in a nutshell, as I mentioned earlier, what we're going to do is we're going to take your standard stock showroom car, give you 1,000 horsepower, and give you a handling package so you can keep it on the road, keep it on the curves.
Okay.
Power without control is nothing. You get the whole package. So what we do with this, the standard gun is a 6-shot cylinder. We make this cylinder from scratch out of a blank of preheated chrome moly premium aircraft quality steel.
Okay, now you do this at your shop in Cody, Wyoming.
Yes.
Okay.
We have no CNC equipment. It's total done on.
What does CNC mean?
Computer numerical control.
Oh.
This is all done with Bridgeport mills. One Bridgeport was made in 1964. That's as tight as the day they made it. It's been well cared for. It worked in a tool shop. It's tight, it's straight. And we changed this cylinder out for a 5-shot cylinder.
Oh, okay. So that gives you the chance to make bigger holes out of it, but keep the same size as the cylinder. Okay.
We're going from the all-known, well-known 44 Magnum cartridge up to the 500.
It's considerably bigger.
This is a 250 grain bullet. This is a 450 grain bullet at the same speed.
If I'm a hunter, what does this enable me to kill the other
I've got a
one
customer in New Orleans that's killed 3 elephant with this.
No kidding.
Shot close through the head.
With one shot?
One shot.
Oh my God. So it'll go clear through?
Shoot through a Cape
It won't
Buffalo.
stop halfway through. It'll go clear
shoot
through. My goodness.
Now you've got to use special bullets. You've got to use some special stuff.
Yeah.
But this is all part of the program that we've designed and had field tested over the years. You know, I've never been to Africa. I have no desire to really go. But we've shot through Cape Buffalo. We've shot through a lot of American bison. I've killed several American buffalo with this gun right here. This is my personal 500. It doesn't weigh any more than the 44, weight for weight. It gives you twice the horsepower, or maybe 3 times.
Okay, now the barrel's also bigger, right? Not just the cylinder, but the barrel's
This particular
bigger.
barrel in 44 Magnum would be 429 thousandths bore diameter. This particular gun is a 510.
And that's to handle this, is that
Bigger
right?
cartridge.
Okay,
Handles this cartridge here.
Oh, that's the big one. Okay.
This basically duplicates most of the rifles that the buffalo hunters used in the 1870s during the Great Buffalo Slaughter. This will shoot a 450 grain bullet at about 1,250 to 1,300 feet per second. Weight-wise, this is one of the most popular 44s made. This is a Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum double action mountain gun. This gun weighs 44 ounces. This gun weighs 46 ounces. You don't need wheels on it. We called it in the early days, we called it, it had to be practical, it had to be packable, and it had to be powerful to meet the criteria of old school. We kind of established that thought. But anyway, when you go into this gun internally, if we go through the action and everything, we have to this gun indexes 6 shots, 60 degrees. When you function it, it rotates 60 degrees per chamber. So we have to change the action and modify it to handle this cylinder that is a 5-shot that has to cam over 72 degrees.
Okay.
So that has to be modified. The frame has to be opened up in the bottom and the top to get the larger cylinder in. This cylinder is 1730 diameter, and this cylinder is about 60 thousandths bigger in diameter. Gives us a strength factor, gives us, it functions, it works well. And this is a very low pressure cartridge. This gun operates, 44 Magnum operates at 36,000 PSI. This gun functions at 25,000 to do the same basic amount of work. Just like a big engine. Big motors make more horsepower, less RPM.
Okay, so you want to be able to offer the person that buys your product not only a bigger load and more power, but control as well.
Control and versatility.
Okay.
These guns are extremely versatile. A lot of people think they've got to run them pretty hard to get them to work. But with the mild loads, which we'll shoot here in a minute to show you the difference, I've shot completely through 1,000-pound American buffalo with the mild loads.
And what'd you call that? What kind of load?
A mild load.
A
milder
load. Okay.
load.
All right.
1,000 feet per second instead of 1,200. Bullet weight is a constant. Bullet weight and caliber is a constant. Velocity, speed is a constantly diminishing variable. It's going to go away. The instant it exits the muzzle, it starts decelerating.
Right.
But the bullet weight and the caliber, it stays the same. It's always working for you. So probably one of the greatest things that people, after they play with these for a while and use them for a while, is that they're amazed at how much work they do easy. You don't have to run them at 8,000 RPM and high-speed gears. They're like a big diesel engine. They have a lot of torque and a lot of power at low RPM and very low maintenance.
Okay, now what does that mean to the shooter? Does that mean that you can shoot it many times without wrecking your arm?
Well, that's up to shooters, you know, personal strength and different things. Over the years, I've never kept a real accurate count, but I'm pretty close to 50,000 rounds I fired through this myself out of my hands. And I figured that up today. That's about 170 gallons of ammunition. And I'm not a big guy.
Wow. Well, I noticed, though, when I shook your hand that you almost squeezed it
until
it was white.
I've lost a lot of my grip. But we've torture tested them.
Yeah.
We've proofed them. I own my own pressure barrels. I've had this stuff tested with industry standard type equipment. And we've never had a failure. We've had a couple guys mess up and bend them a little bit because they used the wrong components. But in standard procedure, we have no problem. Matter of fact, we've got a gun here today that was the 998th gun I built. I just went through my records a few days ago because lots of guys ask questions about that. How long have you been doing it? Full time since 1985. What do you do? I build every one by hand. I do it myself. I've worked by myself for years.
Do you know what number this one is?
This particular gun is number 251.
Each one is stamped, huh?
Each individual caliber and each individual model is stamped. But I've built like 6 calibers and different models, and I compiled all my records. And one of the guys here today has got a gun that's stamped. We're going to stamp it for him personally here, 998.
Wow. If I want to buy one of your guns, how much do I have to pay?
This gun right here is going to be about $4,000.
Wow. Okay. You know, comparing it to a car is pretty accurate.
It's got a lifetime guarantee on it. I mean, if 20 years down the road, if you sell it and your friend buys it, and something I did goes wrong with it, short of normal wear or use or abuse, I'll fix it.
Covered.
No charge.
It's covered. Okay, can you shoot it for us so we can get a look at it? Okay,
Absolutely.
We'll get a look at, and I know we have some muffs here so we can survive this experience. And will you be, let me see the cartridge you're using. That's the same as the very big one here, the big one that you showed us, right?
Yes.
Okay, right, and it is stamped 500.
Is
that right?
This has got our case head stamp
500,
on it.
okay.
It's got our name on it.
Good deal.
Well, this is a 420 grain bullet at about 1,000 feet a second. It's a very moderate load. We'll shoot a couple in the dirt bank here, and you can kind of get an idea of what kind of forces we're dealing with.
Okay, just so we know exactly what you're going to be shooting at.
We'll just
so we
shoot
can
it in the
track
center of this dirt pile here to the right of that plywood that's laying down.
Okay.
You can kind of get behind me and you can watch the recoil forces come up and you can see the dust cloud.
Hey, John's going to shoot. Fire in a hole.
We can switch over to some heavy ammunition. That's very moderate. You can shoot that a long time without being fatigued or hurt. We'll switch over to some heavy stuff.
What would that have? Let's do that. Let's switch over to some heavy stuff. What would that have? What size animal would that have taken down?
I used that load there on the last buffalo I shot. She weighed 1,000 pounds.
Oh my God!
I shot close to her.
1,000 pounds.
At about 70-yard shot.
That would take an elk too, then, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, endo.
Yeah.
My son, if you go on my son's website, he killed an Alaskan brownie that squared 8 foot 6 inches at 170 yards with a gun just like this in front of 3 witnesses and a Leica rangefinder. And at that distance, he shot clear through and never shot it.
Now, before you put in a heavy load in there, could I try to shoot the load that you just shot? And keep in mind, I haven't shot a gun in 20 years probably.
Have you ever shot a 44 Magnum?
No.
357?
No. Are you going to trust me with it anyway?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, am I going to have to go to the
break it,
doctor?
you get both
Am I going to have to go to the doctor for a bad elbow after this?
Okay. This first round up is empty.
Okay.
What I want you to do is cock it, squeeze it pretty tight, bring it up, and snap it.
Okay.
And then your next 2 shots will be hot.
Okay.
You get a feel for it before it surprises you.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is the first one still empty?
Yeah. I'm going to give you this one. It's just like I say, hold it like
Okay.
so. It's
Yep.
got a pretty light trigger. Got to stay off of this. Cock it. Put it up where you want to shoot. Snap it off.
Okay.
Your first one will snap. Your next 2 will fire.
Okay. I don't know why I'm nervous.
There you go. Hang on to it.
Okay. This one's hot.
This one's hot.
Gee! Good. Oh, did I even hit it on that one?
You hit it.
Okay. What a recoil. Amazing.
That's a toy load.
That's a toy load. So what's the difference between that and a heavy load?
I've had a couple people, I know maybe I shouldn't say this, but I do believe in honesty. I had a guy stand on the line at one of my seminars that poured out probably a couple hundred rounds, and he got fatigued. And I told him, I said, you need to take a break, pard, you're getting tired. He says, not me, man. I'm the man of steel. Gun got away from him, hit him in the side of the head. We drug him off the line and put some smelling salts on him.
Man.
And I know that's probably not a good advertisement, but you know, if you're going to drive a race car, you got to understand what you're dealing with. You're going to run heavy equipment, you got to understand what you're dealing with. But if I've only been hit once in 50,000 rounds.
You mean with the gun in your head? Yeah.
And I had a load that failed to fire. when I shot it, I heard it go, and I kind of relaxed and it went off.
Oh, it delayed on you.
But and I'm not a very big guy. People think I'm 6'6" and weigh 250. I don't. I never made it by a lot. By 6 inches.
Well, John, this has been fascinating, and if people wanted to, I mean, do you have a website where they could reach you if they wanted to research this a little further?
It's under custom6guns.com.
Okay, we'll put that on the graphic, and if people want to talk to you, they can reach you through the net. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Appreciate your time.
You bet. Bernie McPherson. Now, I've been told, and you refuted this, but I was told that you were the oldest member of the Hancock County Gun Club.
I'm one of the oldest members, yeah.
There are a couple members that are older than you, but they're not real active.
True.
Now, when you say you're active, I get a kick out of this. You mean active, because you're up here, you work at this place, don't you?
I do. I spend 8 or 10 days out of the year helping. Work day, things that need doing, painting trim, stuff that other people don't notice.
Yeah. And you've been a member for how long?
We talked about this earlier. I joined in 1955, so the math would show, what, 50 plus
You got
years.
your 50-year pin some time ago.
50 plus, yeah.
I wanted to bring you up here on this little knoll here because we can sort of show the layout of the gun club. Right over your right shoulder there, there's an indoor shooting range.
We have a 8-point shooting range inside for handguns, a 50-foot indoor range. We have pistol league in the wintertime. We have rifle league in the wintertime. We have several activities in there throughout the year.
So you can shoot all year.
Absolutely. Come in, turn the heat on, and have a splendid time shooting.
If you're a member, you got a key, and you can come in and use the facilities anytime.
Any member can come in and use any facility throughout the year.
There are two of these big green boxes here. What goes on there?
Those are the traps are in there for clay birds. We shoot trap here. We shoot. We don't have a skeet range, but we do have 2 trap ranges, and we have a trap league throughout the summer. Very popular.
Yeah, and there's the other. We're looking at the other trap. What do you call that? A trap
house.
A trap
house.
Okay. Now to the left, I'm looking out there. You have a rifle range here, so you've got these what you call backstops that are 100, 200, and 300. You can shoot up to 300 yards, and even beyond that is the gun club property, right? So you're not in any. You don't get in any situations.
We have 60 plus acres here that we bought 1960, paid it off a few years later, and we go back almost another quarter mile property line.
I get a kick out of you because while we're looking at those backstops, you told me that you were here with your what a backhoe or
a case bulldozer.
A bulldozer, and you built those, didn't you?
I bring my bulldozer up here. We added on to all 5 of the outdoor ranges. And for safety reasons, we wanted to extend the backstops. We almost doubled the length of them. Made it easier to set out targets and just made it quite an improvement.
Yeah, and that dirt's not always easy to come by. You had to go down in a creek and scrape off some undergrowth, didn't you, to find enough dirt to build them with?
Well, I had to clear the trees off and then get the dirt and then put the trees back.
That's great. Okay, and we were looking down there. You know, we were at the pistol range there with John Linebaugh a little earlier, or the rifle range. And beyond that is a pistol area where you can shoot shoot shorter targets.
We got 25, 50, 100, 200, 300 yard range there.
And there's a little white place down here. It looks like that's maybe the newest building on the property. That's where Linebaugh was giving his seminar. And you've got a place there to have meetings and
that's our meeting house, yes.
Yeah, get out of the weather if the weather happens to get bad.
If the weather gets bad.
Well, this is really quite a layout. I gotta say I'm impressed. How many members you got?
I don't know the exact figure. I should have looked this morning. It's in excess of 300.
No kidding. Fantastic. Now, I noticed while we were attending the meeting down there, you piped up quite a bit about when you were talking about making. I think you said making bullets, right?
I cast bullets.
You make bullets. Yeah. Okay. Well, show us some of your ammunition that you make. And this is. Oh, okay. I'll take it. Okay.
I make the bullets. I load the ammunition. These happen to be 357 Magnums. They fit this particular gun.
And this is your gun?
This is my gun.
Yeah. And do you shoot for just for pleasure, or do you also hunt with a handgun?
I hunt with a handgun. Since Illinois has since Illinois made it legal to hunt deer with a handgun, it's my gun of choice now.
It is?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten one?
Oh yes, I've killed probably 15 or 20 with a handgun.
You got to be an awful good shoot, or you got to be awful close, right?
Or awful lucky.
Awful lucky.
No, we practice regularly.
Yeah.
My circle of friends that I hunt with, majority of them shoot with a handgun.
I'll be doggone.
And we, given the chance, of course, we get a deer every year with them.
Well, thanks for visiting with us.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Okay, and good luck on this weekend. It looks like a lot of fun.
I think we're very privileged to have John come all the way from Cody, Wyoming to put on a seminar. We're privileged to have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend, and my compliments to you and your show. I think it's really great.
Oh, you're one of our viewers. Thank you, Bernie.
I am
Appreciate
a viewer.
it. Yeah.
You bet.
Okay. Clay, we're all about guns on this segment.
Okay.
And if you're a serious shooter, you already know what a chronograph is,
Yes.
right? I don't, but we're going to learn that today.
Okay.
A serious shooter would use this tool to learn what load his gun to use in his gun that is most efficient.
Yes.
Is that sort of okay? And Cam here has agreed to go ahead and make the shots through it when we ask him to.
Okay.
And then we'll get a readout from the chronograph, which will tell us what we learned. Now, you work for the Macomb Park, or you're a member of the Macomb Park District, and you and your group come out here to the Hancock County Gun Club because you bring kids out here to teach them how to shoot.
Yes, we do.
And why is that important for kids?
Well, it's important. If kids are going to handle firearms, and I personally believe all kids ought to be familiar with firearms, then you must teach them how to do it safely and how to shoot well. And that's a very important part of my life, always has been. I was in the military for 33 years. I'm retired colonel from the Army. I was a competitive shooter in the Army. Guns have always been a part of my life, part of my son's life, part of my grandchildren's life. If you want to gunproof a child, teach them how to do it right the first time.
And now you're a member of the Macomb City Council. Okay, so you're also interested in those things. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Before we look at the readout, let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at the contraption and describe to me what that contraption does, what happens.
What you see there is two sky screens that are precisely 4 feet apart. And each of those sky screens has a electronic cell, that will measure the speed of the bullet as it goes through the first sky screen, and then, like a stopwatch, when it hits the second sky screen, it will measure that time that it goes through that 4 feet, and then translate that to this readout, and will give us a speed of how fast that bullet is. Now, there's about 12 feet between where we're going to shoot and the first screen of the instrument. We call that instrumentational velocity. For serious shooters, they can convert that from instrumentational velocity to muzzle velocity. They want to know how fast that bullet is coming out of the muzzle. But that's a little farther down the game.
Okay.
This particular instrument is made by Oehler, O-E-H-L-E-R. It's a top-of-the-line instrument. You can shoot slingshots, bows and arrows, handguns, rifles through it, and it will give you the speed of your projectile as it goes through the screens, and then you can later use that information to help develop the best load for your firearm.
I see, okay. And like I said, Cam Miller is here to demonstrate this for us. He's the secretary of the gun club, and now, I couldn't even hit those two triangles, but let's assume that he will, and we'll see exactly how this works. Whenever you're ready, Cam.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay, we measured 3 of those. We got a 635, a 624, and a 648. So 648 was your high velocity, 624 was your low velocity. That's an extreme spread of 24 feet per second amongst the 3 rounds. And
you don't want that spread. You want consistency, right?
That is actually considered very consistent.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah, if your spread would be, say, 100 feet per second or more, then you need to go back and do some more work on your load.
Okay.
But for a handgun, 24 feet per second is a very good spread.
And I might want to know that, because if I'm loading my own ammunition, I can save a lot of money. The information I get from this tells me whether I'm shooting the correct load or not. And if I keep loading them that way, I can save a lot of money.
That's correct.
Show us how we save money on this.
Okay, this is a 45 ACP round, and it has components. It has a primer back here, which is replaceable. The case actually represents about 65% of the cost of ammunition. Inside the case is powder, and then you have the bullet. Once we fire this, we can then take this case, punch out this primer, resize the case, put in a new primer, put in a powder charge, put in a bullet, and we can save about 80% the cost of going to the store and buying ammunition by creating our own. We can also tailor make ammunition specifically for our firearms. Every chamber is a little bit different, and with a little experience you can figure out what that difference is, and you can make ammunition suited only for your guns.
Thanks, Clay.
Sure.
In addition to this seminar, there's a lot going on here at the Hancock County Gun Club during the summer. They'll have their Ladies' Day shoot later on in the summer, and they also host the Carthage High School trap team here. With another Illinois story in Carthage, I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
Illinois Stories is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you. For a DVD copy of the program you've just seen, send $19.95 to Network Knowledge, P.O. Box 6248, Springfield, Illinois 62708. Be sure to include the program name, subject, and when the program aired. You can also order with your credit card by calling 800-232-3605.